How we doing, lads? Welcome to another video. This was a 3sec 255 that I made for my tutorial series. Nothing really special about this one. I'm just trying a bit of a different video format. So I've installed some additional, I guess, performance enhancing features. So I've got Optifine. I put some shaders on, so hopefully the video thumbnails are not going to look as bad. And yeah, so I just decided I'd release this one. So things about it, it's a 255. I've released like an in-depth how to use guide with the very first webbust version that I did this cannon with. This is a Pseudo Nuke version of the cannon. So you can see here we do have this 8-hole Pseudo Nuke here. This is all timed with the Sandcop. Things about this cannon, you've got about, I think it's about 6 chunks worth of float. Wire adjust isn't particularly good. I'd only really wire adjust up to here. So if you were to make a cannon box, of course, you need the room for the sandbots, so I'd make your cannon box roof up to about here, and then I'd just wire adjust off the roof just like that, so I'd have your barrel out like that. It's got about, should have about 50-55 chunks worth of range. It's got quite a bit of range on this thing. It's got quite a good ratio for the range. I'm just going to extend that across a little bit. It's got bypass for your first game tick, slab bust, 1 rev, and a late enough hybrid so you can double tap regens. And apart from that, that's sort of it. You got shot control, pretty standard sort of stuff here. And yeah, nothing double pulses, so you can TNT fill this as per normal. So we'll refill it, we'll get it ready to fire a little bit. Standard XY triangling. So this is at Y height 191, so it's stacking, should be stacking 255 on the dot. So I'm just going to take this out just like this. And I'll just put the X guide just there, I reckon. So let's go about, let's try and line that up properly, and we'll go up a little bit further, and then we'll go walls, cobblestone, 59. Put up some test balls, there we go, come on, load up, there we go. So, got ourselves some test balls there, speed 1, so hoping this cannon doesn't blow. This is a rescan version. I'm just going to change this guider over a little bit, because that is way off, that's also way off. About there, that's pretty close to the middle, and we'll just fire a shot. So you can see the pseudo in action. We'll just get some slabs, and I'll drop in some slabs after this shot goes through. There you go. So I'll just put a slab here. This is directly in line with the shot. But yeah, you can see we got a nice, it's an 8-hole pseudo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you've got your hybrid hole at the very top there. So basically, it's for griefing. I'll be honest, the whole point of pseudo is just to make a mess. It isn't great for forcing, really. It'll often screw up your ratios. If you're stacking up high, it'll fuck up double tapping. If you're on a griefer base, you just run this pretty much. But we'll fire again. We do have a layer of slabs down there. I've got about 9 slab bust on this thing. Oh, what? Did it fire? I might have that mistimed, actually. Oof. That's awkward. I tried turning the pseudo off. Slab bust should be fine, though. Interesting. We'll say the slab bust is working, and if it isn't working, I'll release the cannon with it working on. I'll do that. It should be fine. I have been playing around with the timings a little bit, so I might not have tested that properly. But in any case, I'll just make sure that it is right for this version. Right, pseudo, there we go. So I'll just turn it on auto, and I'll just show you it on auto. Will bust regens by double tapping. It doesn't have OSRB, doesn't overstack. It's a pretty basic little cannon. But it will make an absolute mess of... What are you doing? Okay. Drop the guider down. Not exactly a smooth little test run on this cannon right now, but just drop it down by 1 and we'll just leave it again. Should be fine. I don't really have toggles for this cannon. You just need to break the blocks basically where it's shooting. There we go. Bang. There we go. Okay, yep, that's all working. So one thing that I will note is you really do want a cannon box when you're using this cannon, because as you saw there, there is sand spraying everywhere from the Pseudo. You can't really do anything to stop that. But I would highly recommend putting blocks on your cannon, or putting a box around your cannon, sorry, so that you don't get sand spraying into parts of the cannon where you don't want it to spray into. Pseudo is generally, it's pretty dodgy. It's working, but it's just, yeah, it makes a mess basically is what I'm trying to say. It's, yeah, it's dirty, really. It is really quite dirty. You can see though, like each of these holes here, they're all the way through the walls. It's an absolute pain in the ass to patch, and often you're going to be needing to chunk bust your base to do it again. Going left and right here, you can see all the holes in the side and just how absolutely painful that's going to be to patch. And yeah, that's sort of it. I will just cover very, very quickly how you turn off this hybrid in the Pseudo just to go into backstack mode. So there's a couple things you need to turn off. Your first one here is your bypass. If you're backstacking through water and shit, that's fine. But if you want to be backstacking, say where there's no blocks present, and you're only using water basically to protect your blocks, you need to be turning this off. This is your bypass. You won't be able to dry backstack with this on. So what I'd do is I'd either break that slime block there, or I'd put a piece of obsidian there. Additionally, you also want to be breaking that block there, or that piece of redstone there. That is the wiring for the Pseudo Nuke, so definitely be turning that off. And you want to be turning off your hybrid as well, so that's that piece of redstone there. Breaking that will turn your hybrid off. Alternatively, you can also break that to turn your hybrid off there. But anyway, I'll just put up some walls and I'll just show you what dry backstacking. So we got everything onto backstack. I'm just gonna, I had some issues earlier with some of these dispensers, but they seem to be fine now. But I'll put the lever on and I'll just show you what backstacking. So you can see here the bypass is not going off. And there you go. Just gonna sponge it up just so it goes a little bit quicker. There we go. So you can see it is dry backstacking. So that is how you bust filters, and I do have the bypass as well. Just in case you do need some additional tools to bust filters. I discussed how to sort of bust filters, like how to dry bust the filters with bypass on in the very, very first video of this series that I did. But for now, this'll do. Quick rundown, quick how to do the toggles, core shock control. I covered pretty much everything about this cannon except for the method of nuking in the last video. And yeah, that's sort of it. It's just a 3-sec. It's a nice little slow cannon. Sort of, I didn't really expect it to be raiding bases, but if you want to be an absolute pain in the ass and just pseudo a bunch of walls, yeah, use it. Go ahead. That's why I made this game in the first place. And yeah, I guess I'll be catching you all in the next video. So have a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you later.